Welcome back. The National Parks Board is reminding the public to adhere to fishing in designated areas. A video of a young boy who caught a sizable catfish went viral earlier in the week. As for those thinking of learning how to fish, at least one fishing enthusiast is also seeing the number of enquiries double on year. Natalie Ong has more.
It was at Punggol Park that a young boy and his friends caught this huge catfish last Sunday. The NParks says it is looking into the matter, noting that it took place at an area where fishing is not allowed. There are currently 2 designated zones in the park, but how are they determined? According to NParks and National Water Agency PUB, the safety of both fishermen and visitors in the parks, reservoirs and waterways is a key consideration. Another is the protection of aquatic life. For areas managed by NParks, it says there were over 60 cases of illegal fishing in 2024. This is down from the previous years. As for reservoirs and waterways, PUB says over 150 penalties are handed out on average each year. It says it has rolled out measures including more signage and using surveillance cameras and drones for monitoring. And if you ever wondered why some railings are painted blue in colour, it's where fishing is allowed.
Over here we can see that there are railings, so these railings are painted in blue, and there are also fishing signs along the way and fishing maps that shows where it's legal to fish.
The hope is for more areas where they can cast their lines.
There is options, but to me, if there were more areas where we could play or areas we could fish, there will be way more better to us, I feel.
It's a sentiment echoed by one fishing firm that has seen more youngsters and young adults looking to pick up the hobby.
So I would say our fishing ground is getting lesser and lesser due to land reclamation. There's this the East Coast Plan, the Long Island project. They are gonna how's that called? Cover it up, then build another land outside.
PUB says it does not actively find new fishing zones to carve out, but requests for recreational fishing along waterways and reservoirs are assessed based on safety considerations with input from relevant land planning agencies.
So what are the common types of fish found at the end of a fisherman or angler's line? Let's take a quick look at the types of freshwater and saltwater fish in and around Singapore. Now, for freshwater fish that's native to Singapore, it's estimated that there are about 40 species. For non-native freshwater fish that are established in the country, the figure is also about 40. Now, 3 common types of freshwater fish found in Singapore, the peacock bass and tilapia, are non-native, while some snakehead species are. As for the saltwater fish in and around Singapore waters, 3 common species include the grouper or garupa, snapper, and trevally. Based on current market prices, the grouper is the most expensive of the 3, with the red grouper highly prized. So is that big catfish a sign of how healthy our freshwater ecosystem is? Well, we've reeled in Kalivanan, who is the CEO of animal welfare organisation ACRES. Kali, good to have you with us.
Good evening.
So we see a lot of excitement about that catfish sighting. It was quite a big catfish, caught a lot of attention. You were actually on site at that time. So I have to ask, do you think this is a sign of a healthy freshwater ecosystem?
Yeah, coincidentally, I was there at the point of time. And I was, this huge fish being reeled out of Punggol Park where I frequent. No, I don't think it's a sign, one fish alone. I think this fish has been surviving there for a very long time. That park is also frequented by otters, so he has probably escaped all predators as well. In an odd tale, I think the fact that the boys fished probably saved, because the fish was actually entangled in foreign fishing nets as well. So that caught, and I think in the process, actually the fish got freed. So the fishermen actually freed the fish from other netting as well. But I think it's a very rare case that such a big fish is living in a pond in Punggol Park. Yeah.
Okay, so if we look at the case of waterways being a lot cleaner today, and also thanks in part to a lot of efforts, right, in Singapore, we have the Singapore River clean-out that's taken place, and also the ongoing work by PUB, of course. Do you think these long-term efforts actually improve the overall water quality, which then creates a lot more room for the health of marine animals to flourish as well?
Definitely. I think since our independence, the government's putting a lot of effort into cleaning our waterways. And since then, definitely the fish have returned. Our aquatic life has been thriving. And yeah, that has also brought in a lot of other wildlife like otters and water monitor lizards and so on.
And the size of the fish as well is what really got a lot of people talking. You mentioned also the rise in otter populations. So you said that that park that you frequent and where this fish was found, there were also a lot of otter sightings. So what is the relation here? Is it that there are more fish or there are bigger fish, so the otters, the population also starts moving there?
No, I think previously, decades ago, our waterways were not so clean, so obviously we're not so attractive to otters. And since we have cleaned it up, the otters started exploring and coming in, and then they realized there are a lot of fish here. So naturally, they started forming habitats, and living here. And now we have otters in the heart of our heartlands as well. So it's quite fascinating.
Is it safe to say that, that recovery in freshwater biodiversity in Singapore is creating a much healthier environment for a lot of the marine mammals or a lot of the animals we see in our waterways?
I'm not too sure about that because as you read earlier, the number of native and non-native fish we have, at least in our freshwater, is about the same. So a lot of the fish we have now are tilapia, peacock bass. We also have like moto stingrays, which are all released as well. So it's not good. People are releasing non-native species of fish. This might have adverse effects on our native fish populations as well. So how healthy is it? Yes, we have a lot of fish, but what about native ecosystem of fish? We don't know the effects yet.
So what is ACRES observing on the ground? Also personally, when you're observing all of these ecosystems, do you think there are any particular fish or wildlife that are thriving a lot more in these cleaner waters?
Definitely. I mean, otters is a classic example. We do see a lot of water monitor lizards and even snakes use a lot of our waterways to move around as well. But more than that, I think since this whole thing came about, because the catfish that was caught, we do come across a lot of wildlife that get caught on fishing hooks or entangled. So that's the problem where, even though we have designated fishing spots, we hope that anglers fish responsibly, always remove your fish hooks and fishing lines, because a lot of times these fishing lines get entangled in birds. So often we get fish hooks in turtles, otters, monitor lizards as well. So in this way, in that sense, it does have an effect on our biodiversity. So practice responsible fishing.
And of course, also sticking to the designated fishing spots.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Kale, thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us. I've been chatting with Kale Vanan, who is CEO of ACRES.